Hi, I'm April.
And I'm Bailey.
We are real-life friends and neighbors.
Together we run a business called Passionist Designs.
Our favorite part of our job is being in people's homes and hearing their stories. As we became inspired by these stories, we wanted to share them with others. That's where the Nestled podcast was born.
So join us each week as we are encouraged to pursue our own design decisions based on what we love instead of what fills our Instagram feed. Every home has a story, and we can't wait to hear yours. Hello, guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
If it's your first time, thanks for joining us. We're so excited that you're here. And it's been a crazy week around Midtown Mobile.
It has. We have been decorating for Christmas like crazy people, but we love it.
We do. It's been fun. We're wrapping up a couple of projects and got some more going at the same time. We're also preparing for one of our favorite events at our church, a Thanksgiving dinner that we do each year. And it's just a lot all at once.
Yeah, but good stuff.
It is good stuff. And goodness, kids. My kids are all over the place. As a matter of fact, I told my sisters this morning, I was like, help. I am supposed to be in 3 places at the same time tonight because my son was like, hey, did you get that email? I'm supposed to go to the high school that I applied for because now you do that. It's like going to college. And I have to do a writing sample at the same time that another one of my kids has to be at the other school. And we have small group at our house. So it's a lot.
Yeah. Woo. And it's kind of sad, too, that we have such a busy week, and then next week is the week our kids will be home because we're going to be so exhausted before we ever... I don't know. I'm going to try and find a way to recharge so I can enjoy my time with them more.
Yeah, and I think that leads right into our thankful tidbits for this week. That as I was laying in the bed last night and thinking about what am I thankful for this week, and the thing I am most thankful for is my crock pot. I've got 2 crock pots full of soup at my house waiting for small group tonight, and I just thought things around my house that there are days that are so busy that I would be most thankful for, and I would say that it's a slow cooker.
Hey, no, those things are useful for sure. What I'm thankful for this week, you'll actually hear me talk about later in this episode. I accused my husband of leaving the shutters that he made in our dining room floor, and I said I was going to make sure he did it this weekend. And I did not make him do it or even mention it to him, but he did it on his own while I was out shopping with my girls. So thank you, Justin.
Maybe he went behind your back and listened to the podcast
that
hasn't aired yet to know.
I redact my statement about being frustrated about the shutters that he handmade so that I would be happy. So thank you, Justin. I'm very thankful.
Yeah, and this episode is our second in a series with the ladies from Loosedale, and this week we interviewed Bailey, who is actually the middle daughter, Taylor's older sister, but not the oldest. And Bailey is also the owner of a boutique, and she's on the Downtown Merchants of Loosedale board. She's the president and has started a really cool event in Loosedale that you'll hear her talk about in this episode. And as well as a really neat, we've joined her Instagram page about her house, and you'll be really inspired by some pictures and stuff that's on there. She's got a lot going, and she's really great. So we hope you'll enjoy this interview. And here's Bailey. Hey, Bailey, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. This is Bailey Eubanks, not to be confused with our Bailey Malone. I almost said Murray, and I don't ever call you Bailey Murray. That's weird. But we're so thankful that you joined us today. We're excited to get to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Can you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself and your family?
Yeah. So I'm Bailey Eubanks. I grew up in Wilmer. That's kind of how I know these two. I am 26. I live in Lucedale, Mississippi now, and I'm married to Heath Eubanks, my husband, and we have a 2.5-year-old, Hudson.
And he's so cute.
He is adorable.
I love watching him on Instagram. He's so
Does everyone think that he looks just like you and your dad?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was probably a general thing that everyone thought that, but every time I see a picture, I either see you all over him or I see your dad, which I think you look like your dad, but.
Yeah. It's like, it's gotten to where now it's awkward when people are like, he looks just like a Eubanks. And I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Bailey, tell us what home means to you.
Home means to me just my relaxation, like a place where I can go that is that is where I can be the most comfortable. And right now, home to me is anywhere that I can be with my boys.
Right.
You know, it's where we are together.
Yeah.
And that's a lot different than the home you grew up in with 3 girls, huh?
Yeah.
You stepped over
Yeah,
into
for
boy
sure.
mom
I
world.
mean, life in general is different, being on your own, being married, and especially having your own child.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah,
what
totally different.
what do you remember the most about your home as a child?
Probably. Sorry, I know this is a tough subject.
Everybody
Can I phone
heard
a friend?
Taylor. Everybody heard Taylor cry about it too, so it's okay.
I mean, literally, I think my childhood was perfect, like absolutely perfect. But what I can remember the most is every day we would get off the school bus, it would smell like Pledge and Windex.
Oh.
Like, I think my mom must have just cleaned every day while we were at school. But we would get off the school bus, run inside, and she would have snacks laid out for us, whether it was cookies or popcorn, or we would have snack, and the house would be clean. And I mean, it's funny. That's what I remember, because I know my children will probably never be able to say that. But no, our childhood home was absolute perfection.
It's funny that you describe it that way, because Bailey hasn't listened to Taylor's episode, and Taylor said the same thing. She said, if I was
Shout out to Nan
describe it,
Jemison for being such a good housekeeper.
right, and such a great mom.
And why didn't she pass that down to me?
I know. Well, y'all are both so emotional of your childhood home, and I'm like, how do I achieve this for my kids? But then you say that about being clean. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen.
Oh,
Too
well.
late.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this, and I don't feel this way at all, but my mom, you know, now that we're older and looking back, and she's mentioned on multiple occasions that she wished she wouldn't have focused so much on a clean house and all the things that she thought were first priority. She's told me before that she wants us to, you know, make the house can be dirty, you know, but sit down and read books and play. Not that, I mean, I don't feel like she was ever a bad mom or didn't play with us enough, but she has definitely told me on multiple occasions that's not first priority. Like, make time and play and go outside and do the fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because she's so good at, like, never making anybody feel like she's put out, but you know she was probably stressed. That's so stressful to keep a perfect house like that.
With 3 little kids.
Yeah.
So what do you hope that Hudson will remember the most about his childhood home?
Well, it for sure won't be the smell of Windex. But I don't know. The place where we live now, we live in my husband's childhood home.
Okay.
And we know that we won't be there forever, which is kind of tough because, you know, I grew up in the same home forever. Heath grew up in the same home, and we want that for our kids, but we know that we won't be in this house probably max like another 5 years. So I guess I hope Hudson remembers the luxuries of we live like a half mile off the road and no neighbors, which is why I'm at my business right now, because we have no service at my house. So I hope he just remembers all the fun stuff that comes along with that, you know, his ponies and riding the tractor and, you know, he gets to run around naked outside because we don't have neighbors.
Right.
Like, I hope he remembers just the fun of being outside and the endless hours on the porch swing and I guess that side of it.
Yeah. Well, and to encourage you, like, his house is not all that he will remember of his home, you know? So even when y'all switch houses, he's still going with you guys. So I don't think that
I guess.
You know.
I guess I'll take him.
So I
can't leave him there.
I don't want you to feel like you fail him in some way by switching houses.
It's hard because that's all I know.
Right.
Going home.
Right.
And he too.
Right.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talk about a lot with people is that homes take on a personality, and so that changes with the people that are in it. And so that house won't have the same personality if you weren't there, and whatever personality you have, you're taking with you to your next home too. So that's neat.
And it's exciting. Like, a part of me is definitely bittersweet. Like, I can't wait to build one day and to be able to put our own touch on things. But it will definitely be
and he'll get
sad
to be a part of that process too. But I mean, out in the country is like, ideal for raising boys. You know,
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
wide
Yeah.
open
For
spaces
sure.
and letting them just run and play. And I don't know. There are times that I'm like, I've told Lance, there are so much in me that's like, I just wish that I could take our boys out to the country and just like give them the land and all the animals and stuff. And honestly, we laugh this about how we wish that they could learn about childbirth and stuff from animals and we didn't have to tell them.
Yeah, he needs to come out to our house. Our ponies have had babies every 12 months.
Oh wow. They're,
Yeah,
they're really having a good time out there. The
out in
ponies
Rocky
are.
Creek.
Oh goodness. Okay, so with this, I know it's not your home, and I know when you moved there, it was not your style, right? The house that you
Right.
moved into. So how did
Yeah.
you take that house and make it a home for you and your family?
Like I said, it's Heath's childhood home. I can't remember the exact year they built it, but I know it's mid 30s, 35 years old
Mhm.
ish. So we had dark paneling, popcorn, glitter ceiling, I mean, and everything that comes along with that.
Right.
So when we first moved in, and it's a beautiful home, and everything that was in there was the best of the best when they
Right.
built it,
Right.
So I worked with what I had, and we slowly changed things, and we slowly remodeled, and now pretty much the entire bottom floor is remodeled, so we're good there. We got rid of the glitter popcorn.
Yeah. What would you say is your design style? As you've
Mm.
learned and changed, and I mean that's something you kind of grow into, I think. But
Yes.
as you've remodeled this house and you've kind of found what you love, what would you say is your style?
Yeah, it's funny looking back. There are things that I used to love and things that I thought looked so good. And now I look at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I have all that stuff on one shelf? Or why,
Yeah.
all kinds of different things that I thought looked great. But my father-in-law, we moved into that house, and within 3 days, I had stuff up. I mean, I wanted
Right.
that to be, I didn't want it to feel like I was staying there. I wanted it to feel like it was our home.
Right.
So, as soon as we got there, I started putting stuff everywhere. And like I said, my style has changed. Right now, it's definitely, I guess, farmhouse-esque.
Yeah.
Uh,
But you are kind of on a farm, so it makes sense.
yeah, I am. We have ponies, so I guess that is kind of like a farm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but it's funny, to me, there's different styles of farmhouse. Like, I used to love the more like shabby chic side of it, kind of French countryside. But probably within the past 6 months, I have gotten really into anything rusty. So it's kind of took a right turn.
Yeah.
But really, anything in my house is it's all neutral.
Yeah.
Lots of farmhouse style.
Yeah. Is design and decorating natural for you? Is that something that kind of comes easy to you?
Yes and no. I feel like it is either something you have or
Mhm.
don't have in a way. But nowadays, I get so much inspiration from bloggers and
Right.
Pinterest, and so I mean, I definitely can't say like it's like a natural born talent, because if I see a picture or I get inspiration from all kind of different places. So yes and no.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll I'm excited for you to listen to Taylor's because she said that you were one of her design inspirations.
Oh gosh.
Because you really,
That's
she was
hilarious.
like, she's really good at it. So anyway, it's funny to hear you say that it is yes and no, not something that's completely natural to you. So with it not necessarily being natural to you, it's cool though that we can all admit like, yeah, I mean, I'm a creative person, but I get inspiration from a lot of different places, and that can
Oh yeah, for sure. And nowadays with social media and Pinterest, like I find myself thinking like, what is anything original?
right.
Like any idea that I ever have, I'm like,
Somebody
seen it
already had
somewhere.
this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I got frustrated for years that I felt like all of a sudden, anytime I did something creative, people said, "Oh, you've been on Pinterest?" I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I thought of it. You know, I got so offended, but now it's like, it's just, it is what it is. Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
and I'm that
sometimes.
girl. I'm like, no, I found it on Pinterest.
Well, if I do find it
Yeah.
on Pinterest, then yeah, that's fine. But like,
But sometimes I have original ideas,
Yeah.
or I think they're original.
right.
Yeah.
And
But
then
I
I
guarantee you
see-
someone's done it before.
I see on
Right.
Pinterest that
Right.
10 other people have also done it. So
Right.
Okay, so since we know that you're an inspiration to your little sister, who would you say inspires you? In style, but also just in life.
Well, in decorating side of life, Joanna Gaines, obviously. Duh.
The queen of farmhouse.
The queen, farmhouse queen.
Yeah.
I definitely have a few different bloggers on Instagram too that I like to follow. I mean, away from the decorating side of things, my mom is like top notch. Like if I could be, why can't I can't say mom, house, family. I just start crying. No, if I could be half the mom, friend, I mean, y'all know mom, Nan. She is everything I aspire to be.
We're hoping that she's able to like share some kind of wisdom because everybody's going to listen to this and be like, we need to know her.
Right. Yeah.
What?
We need Nan. We need to make a bumper sticker. Everyone needs more Nan. What would Nan do?
What would Nan do? That's right.
We can make bracelets.
So now that you've got a little one at home, and maybe even before you did, but do you think that decorating seasonally is worth the time and money? Because I know that's something that you're kind of into.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I have a friend that told me she had 0 fall decorations in her house. And I was like, Christy, literally give me $30 and I can go find stuff. I have bought stuff from Dollar General for my house for fall.
Right.
Like, it does not take loads of money. So to answer your question, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
Period.
That some people
Like,
would, yeah.
I can't handle it. I mean, because I put my fall up like September 1st and I'll leave it up. You know, to me, fall for sure because you can leave it up the longest. Christmas is, I mean, I still go all out, but I can see people justifying not doing as much Christmas because you don't have as much time to leave it out.
Right.
But fall decorations, though, you have to have
Right.
a lot of.
Well, and I think, too, a lot of people can think of it almost as a waste of money, but it's actually a really cheap way to change the look of your house all year round without having to do any major overhauls.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in the spring, you can pull out your little spring pictures and some flowers or whatever. And anyway,
It freshens things up.
No, I totally agree. And like with Taylor getting married, you know, Taylor's starting off fresh, and I have friends that are, you know, have been married 1 or 2 years. I'm like, every year, just buy a couple things, store them in a bin, and in, you know, 2 or 3 years, you'll have your collection. You don't have to go out and spend $200 every season. Just slowly add to your collection.
Yeah.
So do you keep your fall decorations up through Thanksgiving?
Well, yes and no. I have started planning my family Thanksgiving at my house, like purposely, just so I will leave, not so I won't be that girl that has Christmas trees up right after Halloween. But I did go to Target yesterday and bought new Christmas stuff, and it's like killing me to stick it in the closet.
They
I'm
have some
dying to
cute
pull it out.
stuff this year.
Yeah. Is it the hearth and home stuff?
Well, yes, and I've already made. It's now it came out 3 days ago, and I've already made 2 trips to Target, once in Louisiana and once in Mobile. So I've got my fair share of that stuff. But no, I actually found lots of cute stuff that's just original Target lines too.
Yeah, they have.
They all
is real cute.
Target, their buyers, whoever buys for them and does they're just fabulous. They are always on trend.
Yeah, add their buyers to my inspiration list.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there a design rule that you feel like you just can't break?
Well, and see, and I don't feel like I'm like a design or, you know, guru, so I don't even honestly know the rules. I've seen where one of y'all said something about short curtains, and and that's probably, I would say that gets on my nerves. But another thing, and I definitely don't think it's a rule, it's just an issue I have, like, I like everything symmetrical, like terrible, like really bad, and I'm getting better, but I have to make myself not buy 2 of everything.
Right.
So, like, that's an issue I have. I definitely don't think that's a rule. That's just an issue I have. That's a personal issue.
Yeah. My husband Justin has that in him too. It's a personal issue. That's what I tell him. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't bother anybody else. It's just bothering you.
It would bother me.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's something in
I'm
the
with Justin.
personalities. We're gonna ask the Enneagram lady if there's that's a question I'm gonna send her. Is there a personality thing that makes people feel like things have to be symmetrical?
Yeah.
In design, because we're interviewing her and we're trying to come at it from a design perspective, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
About that.
So if you have any questions, send them to us.
Okay, so other than preparing to decorate for Christmas, do you have any current projects right now?
We live in a constant project. If your husband's are anything like mine, like nothing ever gets 100% finished. So, like I said, like we just remodeled like the formal living area of the house, and it's livable, like it's done, but there's still things that small things that need to be done. So, since we've been married, we have lived in a constant project mode because we've either lived in old houses that have needed, revamped, or we're always in honeydew project mode.
Yeah, Justin made some shutters for us probably in August, and they're still sitting in our dining room floor. So I think that this weekend that's going to be you have to do this, or I'm burning them. I'm going to burn them.
We always get stuff done before Hudson's birthday parties.
Because
we have them out at the house. His family is huge. My family is huge. We have to, once you start inviting people from church, it's like, where do you stop?
Right.
So his birthday parties are always massive, and that is the time.
Yeah,
I mean, we
get
more
everything done.
It is insane the amount of work he can get done in a weekend.
Right.
Because, of course, he waits until the last minute.
Right. I'm guilty of that myself.
Yeah. So, Bailey, tell us a little bit about your boutique.
Well, she's 5 and a half. She's my biggest baby. My store literally is a God thing. It fell in my lap. I don't think I grew up. I mean, I've always loved clothes. Y'all know that. I mean, since I was little, I've always loved clothes. But I don't think I grew up like wanting to own a clothing store. I worked at a clinic counter in Mobile when I got engaged to Heath, and I knew that our life would be in Lucedale.
Right.
So I knew that I probably couldn't stay there. And a lady that I went to church with at Wilmer called me one day and said, a lady is opening up a boutique right beside my salon, and she needs somebody to run it for her. And honestly, like my first thought was a boutique in Lucedale, there's probably like camouflage purses in it. Like I'm probably not interested. Thanks, but no thanks. And so the next morning I got up and I drove to Lucedale just to peek in the windows before they opened, and it was actually like cute. So I interviewed and I started working, and that was like in April, and she offered for us to buy it in August. Heath and I weren't even married yet. I was 20 years old.
That was faster than I realized.
Yeah.
I remember that happening, but I didn't realize it was that quick.
It was and it didn't seem like it at the time, but it was quick. So September 1st, we signed on it. We got married in October, and I turned 21 after a week after we signed on it. So yeah, I've had my store for 5.5 years. We've had 3 locations, every time kind of getting bigger and bigger, and hopefully, Lord willing, this is the last.
Right.
This is the last stop, which I can't imagine my location being any
more
better.
perfect.
I'm right here by Mom and Taylor. We're side by side, and then on the other side of me, I've got the cutest little eating place on Main Street. So I love where we are right now.
Yeah. When did y'all make the move to Main Street?
Oh gosh.
Because you moved before Taylor.
Yeah. 2013.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's 4
2013,
years
I
ago.
think.
Yeah, you're like the start of everything, Bailey. You like paved the way for the family to be on Main Street.
Well, I've always loved old things, old buildings, and Main Street, any Main Street in any town, they mesmerize me.
Yeah.
And it's like heartbreaking to pass through towns and to see their main streets like dead.
Yeah.
And ours was getting that way, like fast.
Right.
And I knew that nothing was ever going to change if someone did not just decide to go and to make it better.
Yeah.
And, I moved to Main Street, and then Taylor came, and it's just kind of went uphill since there. But it's like someone had to make the first initial move, or
Right.
it was you know, never going to happen.
And you had up a lot of events down there, don't you?
Yeah.
So there's like a new Main Street Coalition people. What is it called?
Downtown Merchants of Lucedale.
Yeah, and you're like the head of that, right?
I'm the president,
The
girl.
president. Hey. So you're doing a lot of great
no one
stuff.
else wanted to do it.
No,
But
I
I
think
love
that
it.
they know you're really good at it.
It's been tough because we're like an actual, it's like a real thing.
Mhm.
It's like a committee. It's like a raise your right hand, like meetings and take minutes. And I'm good with like the event side of thing and the social media side and the people side and the taking picture side. But when it comes to our meetings, I feel like we've been meeting for a year now and they're still like, okay, Bailey, we need to open the meeting or we need to vote on this. And I'm like, raise your right hand if you. I'm terrible at the professional side of it, but I love the actual event side.
Yeah, so y'all are doing a monthly event now, right? Downtown.
Yes. Second Saturday has turned into a monthly thing. And we just recently did the Treats in the Streets, the Halloween event, which was huge. I don't think we
So
realized what we
fun.
were getting into. But yeah, it's fun. I think people just like Lucedale. They like the small town feel.
Mhm.
We get a lot of people from Sims and Mobile because it's not that far of a drive.
Right.
People think it's further than it is. It's not that far, and it's just a fun family atmosphere, you know.
Yeah, I've seen more and more people coming from Mobile. More and more of my friends coming from Mobile go into that. So we
Yeah,
definitely
because
want
there's not really a main. I mean, you know, you could go to downtown Mobile, but it's not near. I mean, you know, we don't have alcohol on Main Street. Like it's very, you know, family oriented, and there's just not many places left like that.
Right. Right. It really is almost like stepping back in time.
You know what it reminds me of? Every time I hear people talk about it is Bluebell.
Yeah.
On
Sweet Home Alabama.
No, what's
what's
it called?
that? That's it, isn't it?
Heart
The
of Dixie.
Heart of Dixie.
Heart of Dixie, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Very
it is very
Bluebell-esque.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna name your next kid Lemon?
Lemon.
Have you ever seen that show?
I've seen the show, but apparently I haven't got that far.
That's like the lead
She's
person.
like a main person. And she has the
Yeah,
sister.
Lemon.
What's her name?
Magnolia.
Magnolia. And Lemon.
Oh, I like Magnolia.
Yeah, we've got some Magnolias.
Yeah.
Yeah,
friends.
Jennifer.
With your
Jennifer's one
with your boutique, do you design and style it differently than you do your home?
Yes and no. I mean, sorry, I just saw a bug.
I was about to say, was that a bug? I knew that's what you were going to say.
Yes and no. You know, when I started my store, a part of me wanted like real chic and,
Yeah.
you know, like real, I don't know.
More modern.
Yeah. But it turned out being, I just love old stuff. And I love to buy, I love to shop, I love to spend money, and I love to spend money on old stuff. So my store is literally like what I can't fit in my house comes up here and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's really all just the same stuff, and I just move it. You know, if I want to use something in my house, I take it, bring it to the store. It's just, I say I have my store because it houses my antiques. So everything is real rusty and chippy, and it really is a lot. It's a lot alike, my house and my store.
Okay, so Bailey, tell us where listeners can find you on the internet.
My store, we're on Facebook and Instagram, and that's just Bai Boutique, BAI, like Bailey. And my house, this is a kind of newer little venture I've started, and it really is just a hobby. I don't think I'm like going to get famous off it or anything. It's just kind of my little, I don't know, it's just it makes me happy and I enjoy doing it. So I made an Instagram page for my house and just things that I like, and it's called Hud and Home. Hud being my baby boy. So
How did I not know this?
I didn't know that either.
Well, I haven't really like I mean,
Well,
I just
guess
made the
what?
page. I
We're
haven't-
Putting it out
Guess
there for all the
what?
people.
No, I haven't really advertised for it yet. It really is just kind of like my like little guilty pleasure. Like I love doing it. And that's where I follow all of my like blog accounts.
Yeah.
Like my personal Instagram is just friends and family, but on that Instagram is where I thought like all my inspiration is. So it's just something fun. I started a few months ago. It's nothing major. I don't think I'm going to be the next Joanna Gaines, but it's just my little
That's
hobby.
fun,
But
yeah.
that's Hud and Home.
Cute.
I'm glad we asked that question.
I know, right?
Because we're going to Go follow you right
Yeah,
now.
we are. I'm following you today.
Hey, well, I hope you like it.
We will. Thank you so much, Bailey. It's been great to talk to you, and I think that you have so many things that people can learn from and inspire them. So I understand why Taylor would say that you're one of her design inspirations, because you're really
Well,
good
that's so
at it.
sweet.
So.
Thank y'all for having me. I feel honored.
Yeah, great. And we will be on Main Street in Lucedale
Yeah,
soon.
we're gonna do
maybe next week.
a little tour soon, and then everyone. The anticipation is gonna continue to build because everyone wants to hear from Nan. So,
The Nan.
the
Dun, dun,
Nan.
dun.
Okay, well, we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Bailey.
Bye, y'all.
I love, especially as a mom, how emotional both Bailey and Taylor get whenever they think about their childhood home.
Yeah.
They're both very secure in their own homes now as, wives and homemakers themselves. But I don't know. I think it's just very special that their mom created a place that they still feel so tenderly about all these years later.
Right, and I'm excited to get with Nan and talk to her and see her perspective on how she created that environment in her home.
Me too.
One of the things that I loved is Bailey talking about holiday decorating and how she just cannot even imagine why you would not decorate for the seasons. And so I thought it was cool too, her talking about the fall, because I think everyone puts so much emphasis on Christmas decorating, and it is true. If you leave your fall out from September through Thanksgiving, which, let's be honest, not many people do that anymore.
Right.
But you really do get a lot of use out of that, and how you don't have to spend a lot of money to make a big impact and to change things up to make your home feel a little different. I don't know, even more so than just the seasonal aspect of it. It just creates like a different environment so that you can, I don't know, I think you can enjoy your home in different ways when you change things up.
Yep.
So our listener question this week was about hospitality, and we had talked a little bit about that last week. And the question was, is hospitality so much an action, or is it just more so an attitude? Is it the action of having people in your home, or is it the attitude behind the way that you treat people? And that, can you be hospitable without actually opening your home?
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's both. I think that your motive is the biggest part, what your heart is behind it, but I don't think you can necessarily be hospitable without being open.
Right.
It doesn't have to be your home.
Right. Well, and we've all been in people's homes who did the act of inviting us in, like maybe they felt that they were supposed to, but they weren't necessarily welcoming once you were in there.
Right. That their attitude was not hospitable, but their action was. And then we've also been around people who, every time you're around them, whether it's at a restaurant, if it's coffee, if it's just in a conversation, they make you feel warm, they make you feel welcome, they make you feel loved, and that to me is hospitality as well. But I think that the kind of the sweet spot is to have both. Yeah. I think that there's action and attitude behind it. It doesn't, like I said, I don't think it has to be that you open your home up, but I think that it is something that we all can work on, being more open in loving people with our actions, but also loving them with our attitude. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So take that encouragement with you as you go into the week.
Yeah, do something this week.
Yes, especially as we start to head in towards Thanksgiving. Think about how you can invite people in. Even if you go to a big family Thanksgiving, maybe look around and see if there's someone in your life who doesn't have family around that may not have a Thanksgiving to go to, and don't make them have to ask somebody if they can join in. Just invite them to yours.
Right, and don't feel like that the holidays and all of the things that you have to do are that are just things to check off of your list, but think about it in the way of like, how can I love people in this? How can I love the people around me and not get stressed out by all the details? But how can I use this as an opportunity to be hospitable in my actions? And so I think that we'll all have chances in the next several weeks leading into Christmas and the end of the year that we can be loving people around us in not just our word, but also in our deed. And so we want to encourage you guys to do that. And we're so thankful that you joined us again this week. So we will see you back next week, or we'll actually, like, you're going to be with us. You're our friends, even though we can't physically see you and you can't see us, but you can hear us. So welcome back next week. And if you don't mind, leave us a review and a rating on iTunes. It helps other people be able to find us. You can also find us on Instagram and on Facebook. We're also on Twitter a little, and our website is poshnestdesigns.com, and you can find us under the same name on Instagram and Facebook. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.